With the stock market at record highs, are you prepared for the next downturn? Corrections can be unforgiving. Smart investors know diversification is the key to financial security. Noble Gold Investments make it easy to diversify with gold. With over $2 billion in sales, Noble Gold has helped thousands of Americans add gold to their portfolios. Open a qualified account today and receive 2 5-ounce silver America the Beautiful coins as a thank you. NobleGoldInvestments.com. Don't let the next correction catch you off guard. NobleGoldInvestments.com.
Joe Biden's financial journey has undergone a remarkable transformation over the years. When he first entered the U.S. Senate in 1973, he was known for his modest means, famously referring to himself as one of the poorest members of Congress for decades. Biden's lifestyle reflected that middle-class status, with his primary income coming from his Senate and later vice presidential salaries. However, after his term as vice president ended in 2017, his wealth skyrocketed. In this video, we'll break down exactly how Joe Biden became so rich.
Right now is Congressman James Comer, obviously the House Oversight Chairman, author of the new book, All the President's Money, investigating the secret foreign schemes that made the Biden family rich. Congressman, thank you for taking the time. Let me just ask you a very simple question. How did Joe Biden get so rich?
Well, no one's ever been able to figure that out. What we were able to do is subpoena the bank records of his son and his brother. We found that they took in $27 million from bad people in bad countries, not for any business purpose, because the Bidens didn't own a real business. The only business that we could determine in our 1.5-year-long investigation was they were selling access to Joe.
To understand Biden's financial rise, we first need to look at his post-vice presidency career. After leaving office, Biden entered the world of publishing and public speaking, both lucrative fields for former politicians. His memoir, Promise Me, Dad, became a bestseller, earning him millions of dollars in royalties. Publishing companies were eager to work with someone of his stature, given his decades in public service and personal stories that resonated with readers beyond books. Biden went on a speaking tour, reportedly charging up to $200,000 per engagement. In just a few years, these ventures turned him into a multimillionaire.
There's a term for that. That's called lobbying, I guess you could say. But you're not supposed to have immediate family members that lobby, number one. Number two, if you lobby foreign entities, you're supposed to register as a foreign agent. There's a law called the Foreign Agents Registration Act. None of his family registered for that. What we found through our investigation was from the IRS whistleblowers that they never paid a penny of taxes on this $27 million. So $27 million coming in tax-free, that's a pretty good start to wealth.
Real estate investments also played a significant role in Biden's wealth. The Biden family owns multiple properties, including a lakefront home in Greenville, Delaware, valued at over $2.7 million. This property, purchased after his tenure as vice president, reflects his increased financial means. The family also rents a luxurious home in Virginia, showcasing a lifestyle that was far from the middle-class image he once embodied. These real estate holdings not only provide financial security, but also contribute to his growing net worth.
So I suppose there will be no accountability for the enrichment of the Biden family, as now we are in the last couple hours of their regime?
Well, we have criminal referrals to the Department of Justice for Hunter Biden committing perjury and for James Biden lying under oath in a deposition and a transcribed interview. Obviously, if Pam Bondi wants to take our investigation, she could pursue charges of money laundering. She could pursue charges of violation of Foreign Agents Registration Act. She could probably put together enough evidence for a RICO case.
Let's not forget the power of visibility and branding. Biden's years in public service, including 8 years as vice president under Barack Obama, elevated his profile to a global level. This recognition opened doors to opportunities that were simply unavailable during his earlier years in public office, from endorsements to paid partnerships. Biden's public image became a valuable asset.
So the decision as to whether or not to pursue charges on the Biden family, that ball's going to be in the Trump administration's court. I certainly hope they do. I think Jim Jordan has said publicly he hopes they do. But at the very least, We want to see people held accountable in the federal government.
It's also important to address the criticism and questions surrounding his wealth. Some critics argue that his financial rise is at odds with his political persona as a champion of the middle class. However, Biden's income sources have been largely transparent. His tax returns and financial disclosures show that his wealth is derived from legitimate avenues such as book deals, speaking fees, and real estate investments. These are common income streams for former high-ranking officials and do not point to any improper conduct.
So Chairman Comer, you also met recently with Kash Patel, presumably the next FBI director. Tell us, what did you guys discuss?
Well, we discussed a lot. We talked about how big a mess he's inherited, how he's inheriting an agency that was once a glorified government agency around the world, and now its reputation has been tarnished. I would argue diminished.
Biden's financial growth also highlights a broader trend among former politicians. Many leverage their experience, connections, and public profiles to secure lucrative opportunities after leaving office, from Bill Clinton's speaking engagements to Barack Obama's production deals. The pattern is clear. Public service often paves the way for private sector success. Biden's journey is no exception.
No one would ever explain what the Bidens did for a living. They would say, oh, they're business associates. Well, what business? There is no business. They don't produce or manufacture a good or service. They don't do anything other than sell access to Joe. And it wasn't like they were selling access to big pharmaceutical companies or some type of special interest. They were selling access to people in foreign countries, and my book goes into detail, names of all the scoundrels who wired to Biden's money. They were all in trouble. In fact, just about every one of them either have been in prison, are currently in prison, are under investigation and could go to prison, or on the run from being sent to prison.
Another key aspect of Biden's financial strategy is diversification by engaging in multiple income-generating activities, including publishing, public speaking, and investing in real estate. Biden has ensured a stable and growing financial base. This approach reflects a shift from reliance on a government salary to a more robust and varied portfolio of revenue streams.
So sum up their legacy. Your book, All the President's Money, you go into this. If you had to sum up the Biden legacy, what would it be?
He's going to be known as the most corrupt president in the history of America. His family had no business, no jobs. They didn't have a real job. They didn't have any business. And they took in all this money. They had all these investigations from our federal government going on, and they were never charged. In one instance, Hunter Biden had two partners on a scheme where they defrauded a Native American pension fund, a tribal pension fund.
Moreover, Biden's financial disclosures have consistently aligned with his public statements about wealth and transparency. His decision to release his tax returns, a tradition among presidential candidates, has allowed the public to scrutinize his income sources. This level of openness contrasts with the practices of some other politicians and has helped Biden maintain credibility.
There were three of these guys: Jason Galanis, Devin Archer, and Hunter Biden. Jason Galanis has been in prison for a decade over this. Devin Archer's about to go to prison, and Hunter Biden was never even questioned. So how can you have three equal partners on a scam, and the other two go to prison, and one gets off scot-free? That's the definition of the Biden family. Joe has always played the plausible deniability card. But in every instance where the Bidens received a huge sum of money, $1 million plus wire, days before, Joe just miraculously either had dinner with them or did a conference call with them or played golf with them. And throughout the whole 2020 campaign, when this laptop was revealed and some of this information was in there, Joe said he never met any of these people. It was Russian disinformation. So Joe Biden's the most dishonest president. He's the least transparent president. And I would argue he's the most corrupt president in our nation's history.
Finally, Congressman, remind us how people can buy your book and support what you're doing.
Well, All the President's Money is at bookstores everywhere. It's on Amazon. It's on BarnesandNoble.com, Target.com, Walmart.com. You go in there and get it. It's a forensic accounting of every shady transaction that the Biden family took over a 10 plus year period. It tells who was sending the money, why they were sending the money, how the money was laundered through different LLCs, and it lists the LLCs in there, and then how it would end up in 10 different Biden family's bank accounts through incremental payments. It really is a forensic accounting of everything, and it talks about the weaponized media. It talks about the weaponized government and all the obstacles we faced as a committee in trying to investigate this information. I think people will enjoy the book.
Great. Thanks so much, Congressman. Come back soon. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
In conclusion, Joe Biden's financial journey is a testament to the opportunities that come with a lifetime in public service and a global profile from his early days as a senator living a modest lifestyle to his current status as a multimillionaire. Biden's rise in wealth reflects the power of leveraging experience and reputation. His story sheds light on the financial possibilities available to former public officials, while also raising important questions about the intersection of wealth, politics, and public service. Whether viewed as an inspiring success story or a topic for debate, one thing is clear: Joe Biden's financial journey is one for the history books.